Hey guys, today I'm filming my second update for my year-long project pan. If you guys did not see my intro or my first update, I will have my playlist linked in the cards so you can see where I started with these items. And if you're unfamiliar with the way that I do my year-long project pans, it's a 2-in-1. So I have like the makeup use-up portion where at the beginning of the year, I choose a specific group of products that I would either like to finish or hit pan on by the end of the year. And the additional part of this project is that I would also like to finish up a separate 50 makeup products. So basically this is the video where I show you guys my makeup empties. And if you want to see my hair, skin, and body empties, I show those to you in my rolling sample project pan series. So this is a little series that I update every 2 months, so I have some good progress to share. So let's just get into the products, starting with the one empty I have from the makeup use-up items. And it's a bummer that it's just one, but you know, I do have some progress on the other items. So the thing I finished is the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Powder in 10 Porcelain. And as you can see, there's no more product in here. It's just like a little bit of coloring left on the pan. I will insert my picture from last update so you can see how much I finished. And I absolutely love this powder. It is in fact my favorite pressed powder with coverage, but unfortunately it was discontinued. And I am happy to have used it up. I definitely got my money's worth because it took me a really, really long time. It's a great setting powder, a great powder foundation. But as I mentioned to you guys 100,000 times, I don't prefer pressed powders anymore. I much prefer a loose powder. So I'm really happy to have this used up out of my collection, and I won't be scouring the internet to buy more. But I do have one more in my collection I need to work on, and I'm really not looking forward to it, kind of. So that will be a journey. So now I'm going to show you the progress on the rest of the makeup use-up items, starting with my primer. This is the Touch in Sol No Poreblem primer, and I have not used this at all yet still, which is terrible. I told you that maybe at the tail end of my spring project pan I'd start using it, but I couldn't do it. I was just too tempted, and it's more than tempted, I did it. I decided to roll in another mini primer instead. I'm really just wanting to get my primer collection down, but I do need to balance that out with focusing on my full-size primer, especially this one because it is the oldest in my collection. So I'm going to mention this a couple more times throughout the video, but I really do want to be strict with myself on my items for my summer and my fall project because I really, really do want to finish these. And of course that means I have to use it in order to finish it. So this is going to be a challenge, especially because I do want to put a mini primer in my summer and my fall project, but I just need to balance it out with using this. So we'll see, but yeah, no progress to show today. Hopefully in my next update, there will be at least a little bit. Then I have my foundation, which is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation in number 10 Light Beige. And this is where we are today. So this was intro, first update, second update. I definitely didn't use this as much, but that's because I was testing out some other foundations. But what I hope you can also see is that the price does not go all the way to the bottom. It stops right here. So I actually don't have too much left at all. A little does go a long way with this, and I do have to mix it to get my proper shade. I'm mixing it with the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation, and that's working really well, both color and formula wise. And this is something I plan on putting in my summer project pan to finish completely, and I'm not worried about it. I don't think it's going to happen by my next update because I also will be balancing using this up with testing some new foundations. And again, I'm still only wearing makeup 12 to max 15 times a month. So I'm going to try to balance it out, but I feel very confident this will be finished by the end of the year. I really don't have too much left. Next, we have my corrector. This is a mini of the Becca Under Eye Corrector, and this is the light medium shade. And this is a little free deluxe size sample, but it actually contains half the amount of product you get in the full size. I don't really think you're going to be able to see the progress super well. I do use a domed Morphe brush. I think it's the E6 to get in here and apply it under my eyes. My nails are a little bit too long for me to be able to stick my finger in there, and I like the way that the brush applies it. This is going to last until the end of the year, if not longer, but that's okay. And I really can't apply too much of this because it is very creamy and my under eyes are very oily and can be very creasy. So I try not to use too much. And next we have my white concealer from ColourPop. It's the No Filter Concealer in Fair 00. And I have used it, but the product is sticking to the sides and you really can't see where I actually am. I can see to the bottom because there are some windows in here, but there's still a lot of product coated on the sides, and I will take out the stopper as well. And this is a white concealer, so I cannot use it on its own. I am mixing it with the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Swan, I believe. And that is more of like a skin tone match for me, so I need to use some of this to help brighten under my eyes. And I'm using that combo every other month, so I am making some good steady progress in this. I do think it'll be finished by the end of the year, and if I feel like it's getting close, I will solely use this and the Too Faced combo to make sure that it's done, because this is a couple years old in my collection. And then we do have my backup of the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Powder in Porcelain. This is a reason that backups are not great, and I don't even really feel like using it. I did use a light dusting of it today. I'm going to try to make myself use it, but it really just feels like an extra step and a little bit of a waste, but I don't really know someone that would use it if I gave it to them. So I want to finish it up because, again, I do like it. I just don't feel like using pressed powder a whole time. And next is something that I decided to roll in last month. This is the Illamasqua Powder Blush in the shade Intrigue, which is a matte white. And when I rolled it in, I already had a small pan, but now the pan has expanded a lot. So this is where we are now. I will try to insert a picture of last month. If I remember correctly, it was hard to see the pan, but it was much smaller. So I'm super happy with this, and my goal is not to finish it this year, it's to make good progress, and I want to finish this next year. This is very old in my collection, but because it's powder product, I'm not bothered by that. And I had used it a lot when I first got it, then I stopped using it, and I've used it here and there over the years, but I really want to focus on it to finish it. And this is something that I apply with one of the Sigma Airbrush contour brushes, and I will take a little bit of it and I will apply it right under my contour to help shape it up. And I think it does a nice job of brightening without looking too white on my skin. And of course, I do make sure my face is set. And it's working really nicely for that. And that's definitely the way I want to use it up. It works because I'm using it with that brush. So very excited to see that progress. And I can't wait to see what this looks like at the end of the year. And then we've got my face palette, which is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit, the unlocked version. And the two powders that I'm working on would be the finishing powders in Soft Light and Filtered Light. So far I've just used a Soft Light. I've been using that in my spring project to help brighten the center of my face. And really I mostly used it for March, and I've neglected it in April and May because I've felt like testing out the Jaclyn Hill powder in April, and then May I just was like not feeling like doing the extra step. So here is what this looks like. You might be able to see a little bit of progress. I'm nowhere near pan, but the dome has flattened out slightly, but yeah, it's going to take me so much longer to use up than I thought. And I am using it with a different angled brush from Sigma, and it's working well, but these pans are so small that I do have to be very particular and careful with the way I put my brush in here. And then for the Filtered Light, I have plans for this for a project. I like the way it works in my head. I need to try it on my face to see if I'm gonna like that, but I don't want to spoil it for the intro of my summer project, which will be coming soon. So I don't think I'm going to, I think my goal was just to hit pan. I don't think it was to finish it. Maybe it was to finish it. I don't know if either of those are going to happen, but I will try my best. Next, we've got my bronzes. So I have 3 that I'm working on. These are all rollovers from last year. The first one I have is Benefit Hoola. This is my winter bronzer, but I did roll this over into my spring project to use as a contour. I have expanded the pan since my last update, which is great. I have a feeling this is gonna stick around for a while this year. The pan is very shallow, but the powder is very hard pressed. I don't need a ton. It's gonna take me forever, so I'm going to use it as my contour until I finish it, and hopefully that's by the end of this year. And next we have my spring bronzer, which is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the bronzer shade You can tell from the picture I've made a ton of progress since last month. I just have this little bit on the side here, and I am, for this month, gonna be using this as my bronzer and my contour to make sure that I can finish this up before my spring project finale. We are so close, which is so exciting to me. I really want to have these bronzers done, so this should definitely be done by my next update. And my third bronzer is the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil. This is just a mini. I've not used this at all yet. This is going to be my fall bronzer, and I definitely feel like I can get this used up because it is a pretty thin amount of product that I have left. So then I have all of my mist. So as you guys know, I had 4 mini MAC Fix Plus sprays I was using as my primer spray. I'm currently working on the lavender. As you can tell, it is almost done, so this will be finished by my next update. Then for summer, I'm going to use the coconut one, and then for fall, I'm going to use the original, and these come with 1 ounce of product, so I've not used these yet, but based on the way I've been able to work through the rose and the lavender version, I do think I'll have those finished. And then for my main setting spray, that would be the MAC Fix Plus Matte, and I have not used this except for today because I was working on using up a mini setting spray in my spring project, and I just finished that. So this is something that I am going to dedicate my time to for summer and fall. I'm not going to use any other ones because I really do want to finish this up because I do have other products that are full size that I need to move on to. So I was right there at the intro, and then this is my marking for first and second update. So a lot left to get through. Next, we have my eye products for brows. I was using the Lorac Take a Brow Kit in the shade Blonde. I wanted to hit pan on the lightest shade. I may have used this twice since my last update. I don't know about this one, guys. Like, I can maybe try to get this into my routine, but really right now I'm trying to use up a couple pencils because I do have several in my collection. So we'll see about this one. I'm kind of lost my motivation to use it up. Then I've got the eyeshadows that I'm using to set my primer. And these are from theBalm. We have Matte Malloy, which is a matte white, and Matte Lin is a matte cream. You can see I've made a lot of progress since my last update, and I am going to repress Matte Lin. It's just getting a little bit challenging to get my brush in there, but I am not having trouble with Matte Malloy because of the shape of that brush. So for now, I'm just gonna repress this one. So it will look a little bit different by the next time you see it, but hopefully it will help me get through this a little quicker, but mostly just to make it easier to use. And my goal is to have these finished by the end of the year. I do still think that's possible. Might have a little bit of Malloy kicking around, but Matte Lin should be done. And for my next eyeshadow, I have some good progress on this one as well. And I'm only using this one in my project. That would be the Anastasia eyeshadow in Birkin. This is my perfect transition color, and I love to pair it with Bengal in my crease. And at my last update, I just had a huge amount of pan, and I decided to repress it to make it easier to use. And I have hit pan on the repressed version, as you can see. And I would just want to have this finished by the end of the year. I have it in my spring project right now, but this will roll over into summer and fall if necessary, but this will be done. And I really want to finish this because I have a backup of it. Next, I have 2 shadow sticks I'm wanting to finish. The first is the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Intense Rose Gold. And I'll put up my picture of where I was at last time. I've probably used up half the product that I started with, so still have a decent little nub here. And again, this isn't my spring project. If I don't finish it, I will roll it over. I am determined to have this used up. I do have a backup of this one as well, but it's in the regular formula, not the Intense. And I definitely prefer the regular. The Intense basically just has some glitter in it, which I don't love. And then the shadow stick I want to start using after I finish that one is the Bobbi Brown in the shade Golden Pink, which is a rose gold color and has quite a bit of product in here. And I've only used this one a handful of times, and I do have a backup of this one as well. So it would be great if I could get both of those out of my collection so I can start using the backup. So it's a shame my inventory numbers won't go down, but it will feel like such an accomplishment to get them finished. And then I have a liner. This was rollover from last year's yearly project pan, and this is the Maybelline Lasting Drama Pencil in Striking Copper, just a little nubbin left. I haven't used it at all yet either. This is a color that I will wear in summer and fall. And lastly, we have my lip products, and I actually will be removing 2 of them from this project and from my collection, which doesn't happen too often, but I just don't like them. And the first would be the Bite Beauty Agave Nighttime Lip Therapy. I'm not sure if this is a mini or the full size. It comes with 7 grams or 0.24 ounces. I'm gonna assume it's a mini, but it comes with a lot of products. And I really did try hard to use this. I was using it twice a day and I just wasn't making much progress, and I did not find this to be very moisturizing. I think the original lip mask works much better, and I already used that up this year. I have a lot of other lip balms to work on. Unfortunately, a lot of potted ones, which take a long time to get through. I'm not going to add a replacement into this project because I already finished my initial lip balm. I finished that last update, so I'm just going to get rid of that. But I am also going to be decluttering my lip scrub, and I will be replacing this. So this is the Frankenbody Coffee Lip Scrub. I think the scent is okay. I'm not like a huge coffee scented product fan. I know that's their thing, but I felt like that made my lips feel like rough and scratched up after I used it. And I wasn't being too harsh, but something about the texture of the scrub felt like it was roughing up my lips, and I did not like it at all. I tried it several different times, and then I had to take a break from using it because it made them dry and scratched, and no. So I'm going to be getting rid of that one as well. And what I'm going to replace it with is the one other lip scrub I have in my collection, and I've had this for like 5 or 6 months. So I want to hopefully finish this by the end of the year. You know, I've got like 7 months left to do it. So this is the Lemongrass Spa Peppermint Stick Lip Polish. It comes with 1/2 ounce, and I've only used it twice so far. It's gonna be a little bit challenging to show where I am. And this is a lot more of like a sandy, sugary consistency. And this one was almost like a walnut scrub with a lot of greasy oil in it. So I like this consistency better, but it is a little dry. There's not as much binder in here, but that's fine. I love the scent of this. It does smell like candy cane. And I'm leaving this in the shower to remind myself to use it. And then I only have 1 colored lip product left in this project, and I'm probably going to save this for the fall to use up, but I'm really not sure how to tell like how much is in here. So it might be a bad idea, but we'll see how this goes. I have not used it yet. This is the Sephora Melting Lip Click in number 1 Caramel. This comes with 1.5 grams. So we'll see how long it takes me to use that up. So those are all of my makeup use up items. Now to show you the makeup products I finished in March and April, and there were 12 products in addition to that Maybelline Better Skin powder. So I have 2 deluxe size primers that I finished. This is actually a travel size. This is the Becca First Light Priming Filter. I don't like this one. It's a little glowy, gives like a lip from within kind of glow. It's hydrating, but it doesn't do anything special for me. I much prefer the Backlight Priming Filter, would not repurchase that. And if I get any more minis, I will pass them on. I also finished the First Aid Beauty Pores Be Gone Matte Primer. I don't like the fig scent that this has, and I did not find this to be very mattifying. I just have not been impressed with any of the First Aid Beauty primers. It just doesn't fit my preference or my skin type. So I will be getting rid of that. Well, it's used up. I won't repurchase that. And if I get any more minis, I'll pass them on. I also finished up the full size of my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder in 5 Fair. I absolutely love this. It is great for setting the under eyes, setting my face. And you guys know I love to mix this with my Too Faced loose powders to help adjust the shade. This is just incredible. I will continue to repurchase this forever and ever. I also finished a mini of the Milani Make It Last Matte Setting Spray. This was fine. I didn't really notice that it was holding my makeup in place all day. You might enjoy this though if you are looking for a nice mattifying setting spray. It's not gonna make you the most matte ever, but it doesn't have any powder in it, where a lot of mattifying setting sprays these days have like loose powder in the bottom that can make splotches all over your face, which is not very cute. So you really can't have everything you want. So this is not terrible, but I just didn't see much of a difference, so I would not repurchase it. I finished one brow product. This is a little mini of the Anastasia Dip Brow Gel in the shade Taupe, and I don't love this product. It's very, very pigmented. I did not have any trouble applying it with this applicator, but I do have thicker, larger brows, and this color is just not for me. It is very cool tone, almost a little bit green. I do not like the shades in the Anastasia brow products. The Taupe pencil works for me, but I've tried the Dip Brow and this Dip Brow Gel. Not my favorite. Like the cool tones pull a little bit green, so no thank you. I will not repurchase that. Then I used up two liquid liners, a black and a brown. So the brown is the Benefit Roller Liner liquid liner. This has a felt tip applicator. I really love the shape of this. It's very easy to line your eyes and do the wing. I believe I finished the black one in my last update. I would not repurchase this though, because it does run and transfer terribly on me, and it completely messes on my eye looks because I have really, really watery eyes and I have hooded eyelids. So this is a no for me, but it's a shame because I think this is a really nice color of brown. Like you can tell that it's brown, but it is deep enough to define the eyes. So I wish it was more long wearing, but it's not. And the same thing with this Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid liner. This one is a brush tip applicator, and this is a black shade. Also super easy to line my eyes to do the wing, but this transferred terribly on me into my crease and it completely messed up my eye look. I tried to fix it and then it did it again. So I just cannot be bothered, and I feel like my eyes must have gotten more watery over the past year or something. I don't know, but these are not working for me. Would not repurchase those, and it's a shame. If you don't have super watery eyes or hooded lids, you might really like those. And then I did finish up some mini mascaras. I always use 2 mascaras at a time, and I use my mini mascaras for only 2 months. So in each of these updates, I should have 2 mascaras to show you, unless I'm working on a full size, and then that one I will use for about 4 months. So the ones that I used up here would be the Maybelline Colossal. Gave a little bit of volume, but nothing special. I would not repurchase that. And then I used up a mini of the Lancome Hypnostraw. You're gonna see a lot of these because I had a bunch of them, and I use my mascaras oldest to newest. I love the shape of the brush. This is so good for giving some volume and really helping to fan out the lashes. I love this. I will repurchase this when I can get it on sale because full price it's like $27.50 or something crazy. And then I have 3 lip products, 2 balms, and then 1 colored product. The first balm is a mini of the Jack Black Intense Therapy Lip Balm in the Natural Mint scent. They have a ton of different flavors, but mint is the only one that I like. This is such a nice lip balm. It is really nice, and it has like a thicker consistency. It doesn't feel goopy on the lips. It's not sticky at all. It just feels really smoothing. It hangs around for a while. This is something I definitely will repurchase, and the full size is only $8, which is not bad at all. And I also used up this mini of the Fresh Sugar Advanced Therapy Lip Balm. I've mentioned several times that I really like working on these because they're cute, they're easy to get through, and they are a really high value, which is great for my yearly makeup empties, but I don't love these. The texture is so thin. You go through them way too quickly. They break from the base. They actually dry out my lips. They're not very hydrating. I will never buy these, but if I get any minis, I'll definitely use them up. And then for my colored lip product, it might not look completely used up, but I got as much as I could out of it. This is a mini of the Ilia Balmy Gloss Tinted Lip Oil in Only You. It's a beautiful pink shade. I really love this color. And I cannot pop out the stopper. I jacked up my hand. I jacked up the stopper trying to get it out, but I did stick a Q-tip in there and I got as much as I could, but I just couldn't get that final product up at the top. I really enjoy this formula. It is super smooth on the lips. It has just the right amount of color, but this is gone in 10 minutes. And that's crazy, not with eating or drinking, just with talking or just wearing it. It just disappears. Right now I'm working on another shade in my spring project, and it's a little bit of like a deeper shade, and I do have to be careful with it that it doesn't feather all over the place. These are just too expensive for how little they hang around, and that's a bummer. If this was a drugstore formula, I would totally purchase it, but for the price, I just can't. Unless this went half off at Sephora one day, then I might buy this shade full size, but I just can't justify it. But it feels really nice and it's a pretty color. It just does not hang around long enough. So that was my second update for my year-long project pan. And I'm trying to look and see what I might have finished by next time. And I really think it's probably only going to be these two things, the MAC Lavender Fix Plus and the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, which would be like such an accomplishment. And I will have hoped to have started making progress on some of these items that are going to be in my summer project. So you'll see like my June progress for it. But it will probably be update number 4 where I'll have more empties or you'll see more progress, but we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I just want to be more strict on myself about the primer in particular, but I've done a pretty good job with the foundation, but I really want to focus on finishing that. It will feel so good to have that out of my collection, even though I like it, but it will just feel good to be focusing on the things that I should be. I did also want to show you guys my ear cuff. It is from Luisa. Justin actually purchased this for me for Mother's Day, and it is a really cute ear cuff. I cannot remember the name of it. I will have it listed down below, and it's just Steph, I think, wore this in a video and I just had to have it. It is such a pretty piece and I was very excited to wear it today. What do you think? So guys, I would love to know your thoughts on these products in the comments down below. I would love to know what projects you are working on right now. So I am in the final month of my spring project 10 pan. I'm also doing the Partners in Cream project pan and a rolling sample project pan where I'm working on hair, skin, and body products. So definitely check all of those out if you're interested. And I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.